You guys are live, though. We're not live.
We are live. Well,
No,
audio's live here for everybody. There's nothing to see. This is our live stream. It's been running for our meeting tonight, and we're gonna move ahead.
Okay. Ready? Okay, first I'm going to read the Open Publics Meeting Act notice. This meeting is being held in accordance with the Sunshine Law, annual notice having been published on or about July 1st, 2023, in two local newspapers with a copy on file with the board secretary and a copy to be posted to the TCCS website. We're calling this meeting to order at 7:14. Okay, so the first thing we have to do is the approval of minutes from 8:28 and 7:05. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes?
Motion.
All those in favor? Oh, sorry, second. My fault. McGilchrist motions. Okay, Bahari seconds. Notes. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Nay.
Okay, approval of minutes and Mr. Gallo's director report.
All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our first meeting of the school year after our August 28th meeting. So I only have a couple of brief updates. First is our enrollment. We are currently at 368 students. We are looking to fill one 8th grade spot as we move down the wait list. We've slipped down maybe 2 or 3 different spots. A couple of people have decided that they didn't want to make that transition after the first day of school, which is somewhat understandable, especially for 8th grade. But we do have a number of people who are still on the wait list that we're hoping will be able to fill the vacancy. So we'll keep you updated at the next meeting. Oh,
The light went out. Oh, no, it didn't.
I don't know.
I don't know. I just got a message saying lost voice.
Oh, this thing's freaking out.
Probably the weather.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, we're plugged in, but next we've got the first week of school. So by all accounts, the first week of school was very successful. We've gone through 5 full days. I couldn't be more pleased with really how we started the school year. I think there was, great communication from the school, from the parents, from TCCO, across the board. I think it's been very positive in terms of welcoming everybody back. We do have a number of new policies and procedures and things that we talked about at our last meeting pertaining to the discipline code and whatnot. And that has really gone well in the first week. So we're hoping that we can keep that up. Sonia's going to present on that a little bit at back to school night to obviously keep all the parents in the loop with some of the changes that we've made. But really, it's been great to welcome the kids back and everybody's feeling good. So hopefully we'll keep that up. And now to talk about some of the upcoming events, including back to school night, it's Ms. Torres.
Hello, everyone. So a couple of upcoming events. Tomorrow is Picture Day. So it's really early in the year, but it's exciting. So the students are already talking about what they're wearing tomorrow. We have back to school night on Thursday from 6:30 to 8 p.m. So please make sure you come. We're going to have first a quick meeting, like Mr. Gallo said. We'll be speaking a little bit, and then the students will be able to go visit the classrooms and talk to the teachers. And then we have a Hispanic Heritage Month event on September 28th, which is going to be located at Fairleigh Dickinson University. And that will begin from 6 to 10 p.m. So there's a lot of fun activities scheduled, which is food, dancing, music. So I hope that you can all make it there. That's it for events.
Perfect. So now we're going to turn it over to Ms. Anders, who does have an HIV update that was shared with the board.
Unfortunately, I should be down there. We did actually have one HIV investigation first week of school, unfortunately. The student was reported to say something pretty inappropriate, investigated, the student admitted it, and consequences were handed out. So you guys got that report on Friday or Saturday?
Okay. Any questions? Okay. So that's our abbreviated director's report for tonight. We did meet like a week and a half ago, it feels like. So so we didn't have too much, but things are going well. So I do want to turn it over to Seema.
Okay. So we were left last time talking about the committees. We had a lot of people interested in the curriculum committee. And I want to thank Natalie Lazou. She's going to move over to communications. I've watched Natalie the first week of school be everywhere and in everything. And I think she would be a major asset to the communications committee. Some of the goals this year are going to be how to partner with the community on educating not only staff, but community members, the role of the board. Increasing some of the presence that we have within the buildings, being, maybe having a sign-up sheet or something like that where different board members can go into the school. So we have some ideas of things that we want to work on, and I think you'd be great at that. So thank you so much for going into communications. So we currently have, and if I could just recap everybody. So for curriculum, we're going to have Ms. Carter. I'm just going to write this down for the notes. Enid will stay on. The three who would like to be the chair. The rest of the chair is just to keep notes and minutes from the meetings and share it out with the board. There is a template available online, and it just goes directly out. So I don't know.
I'm happy to do it.
Okay, so Ms. Harry will be the chair. Thank you so much. For finance, we have Enid Vallejo Justi on as, do you want to remain as the chair, Enid? I'm sorry? Finance.
Did
I
we-
don't know, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we got that. We had, she's the chair.
And Laurel will stay on
Yep, that's the,
for help. Okay, I'm just gonna review everything.
Yeah.
And then the
Building
buildings
and grounds.
and grounds was going to
Kirk.
be Mr. Mitchell. Are you still okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay, so, and you'll be the chair for that as well? Okay, so Kirk.
that's
And
Keisha.
And then Keisha, you also sit on that one as well, okay? And then communications, we have Ms. Gonzalez, who isn't here with us tonight.
The chair.
She'll remain as the
I
chair.
have
And
Stacy
then-
on there too.
Stacy, did you still want to sit on communication as well?
Sure.
Okay, so Stacy Bahari and Natalie Lazou. And then
Curriculum we took care
oh,
of.
yeah.
Governance.
governance, Anthony, would you like to stay on governance as the chair? Yes, right? Okay, Anthony McGilchrist is the chair. Kirk, will you still like to sit on governance?
Sure.
Okay, Kirk Mitchell and
And Keisha.
Keisha, are you still willing to stay on?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, and then the last one was the TCSEO liaison, right?
Yep. And we had Laurel for
And
that.
we had Laurel for that.
And then Friends was Kirk.
And Friends was Kirk, okay. Any changes you need to that, Kirk, or you good? Okay. All right, so I'll send out just an update with all the committees and who's on them. And then the board self-evaluation, I think there was like 4 people that had completed it. I'm sorry, no, it was 7 people. So that is pretty much done. We do have to look at the school leaders evaluation because there wasn't as many participants in that. So if you haven't gotten to it, if you could get to it, or if you need the link resent, just let me know and I'll be happy to share it. And should I keep going?
Go for it. Right into new
Okay.
business.
So I sat on the TCSEO meeting, which, Ms. D presented the Hispanic heritage, and Mr. Kaito was there. And a lot of the conversation was around playground. The playground, I think, honestly, when my she's a 6th grader now, I think the conversation started when she was in kindergarten. And we haven't really moved along with that. So I asked Mr. Gallo to set up a meeting between the board, Friends, TCSEO, to just all the stakeholders involved in the playground to get some information and possibly develop some type of visual for the community. That was kind of what the community was asking for in that meeting, so that people knew what they were fundraising for, and see how we could support that initiative. So that should be something that hopefully by the next meeting, we could talk a little bit more toward. For what? Oh, all of us? You think we're all gonna be, okay. So whoever wants to sit in on that meeting is more than welcome. Okay. And again, new business with the board representation at the events. The goal is kind of through the communications committee, we come up with some type of they talked about having breakfast or coffee with a board member, possible tables at back to school night or other events like that. Just the way the TCSEO kind of shares information, we could do something similar. So that would be something that we'll work on through the communications committee. And then the board retreat right now is scheduled for October 16th at 6:30. So if that doesn't work for anyone, let me know, but we kind of have to do it sooner than later. And that was Tom's first availability, our representative. So if there's a problem with that, just feel free to let me know, and then we can figure out how to get you information or what to do in your absence. Committee updates. So I don't know if, Anthony, you want to go through governance?
Governance meeting met over the weekend. We talked about our new HIB edit policy. We also went over the executive director evaluation. We also talked about the Board of Trustees self-evaluation, in which during the board retreat, Matt from the NJSBA has our information. We haven't been given that information as of yet. We also talked about the potential resignation and appointment of a new board member and the resignation of an old board member potentially. We discussed the date of the board retreat, and that's basically based on his availability, Matt's availability to meet with us. We discussed the curriculum board representation. So if you made it there, it was discussed on the governance committee. We discussed who would be best suited for which committees. And then the communication with the school and the school community was also brought up, which we heard in the president report.
Thank you. And Ina, do you want to talk about finance?
Sure. Sorry. Okay. So from the finance committee, so today we met today and we spoke about Patrick Duncan potentially as coming in as a proposal for the negotiation services that we're going to go through soon. That's going to start in December. And we discussed the rate for that service. And he's also worked in the past as part of the negotiations as well. So this is someone that the school's familiar with and used to working with. There's another rate proposal thrown in as well. And I hope I say it correctly, Thomas Johnson. So I believe probably we will review this at a later point as well and decide on this attorney for who we're going to work with for the negotiation.
Can I just ask a quick question? So Tom Johnson is our board attorney, right?
Mhm.
So is it an additional cost to have him sit in through negotiations?
Well, it's his regular rate. So we're charged by the hour as it is. So it would just be, his quote was his regular rate.
Correct.
Yeah. So
I thought we do a flat rate with him. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, so in addition to that, we just reviewed the register. This had a number of items on it, as you guys probably saw, several pages long. A lot of it's from the summer orders and everyone getting ready, teachers, everything that's needed for the school year. So, so the large ticket items, just to highlight those for you all. There's a payment for $14,500, which is for the first payment for the audit. That'll be due by the end of December, although my understanding is sometimes there's delays around that, just based on this discussion on the pension, which we talked about before. There's another payment for a program called Lincoln, which was about $23,000 for that's. I think I'll let the sort of speak about it a little more, but my understanding is that it's going to have the ability to look at a broader range of data assessment for the school with state data. So I'll let you touch on that if you want.
Yeah, this program we're really excited to have. This data, it's a company called Linkit, and Ralph and I went to a professional development at another charter school where they presented the information, and basically it's going to help us with our in-house assessments, and then it'll help us even make our in-house assessments. The state assessments and different assessments that we have put it into one whole system so that teachers and staff can utilize the assessments in order to drive instruction and help support our students. So we're excited to have this program. And we're going to use grant money. I don't know if she said that yet. We're going to be using grant money to pay that cost.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is coming out of the grant money. that came through during COVID, so. Okay. The other high ticket items on the register were the Super Kids textbooks and the online access that the school has. That's $9,392, $6,841 for math textbooks, $68,693 for the bond payment, and then finally $97,101 for the payment towards insurance liability and the workman's comp. So those are that we discussed in more detail on the register. They're just the higher ticket items.
Thank you so much. Okay, and no other committees met? No. All right. The next thing we have to do is reading of the HIB policy. There were some language changes to it, so it was pretty much the same. We highlighted, I hope everyone can look it over. I sent it out on Saturday night. We did add a blurb underneath. This had like, although Ralph and everybody for discipline, we didn't want to have to work, so we just had a reference put in there to go back to the discipline policy of consequences. There was also, we had to add a link to a form that needs to be issued to the state when there is HIB. So it's a HIB reporting form. So that link has been added. And then here, there were two choices that we can have on how to proceed with this, but we chose the second option. So to protect the victim, the chief school administrator shall take into account the circumstances of the incident when communicating with parents, guardians, and when following the investigation procedures. All reported incidents of harassment, intimidation, and bullying shall be the law and the following procedures. Investigations shall be thorough and complete and documented in writing and shall include, but not limited to, taking statements from victims, witnesses, and accused, careful examination of determination if the alleged act constitutes a violation of the investigation shall be initiated by the principal or the principal's designee within 1 school day of the report of the incident and shall be conducted by the school anti-bullying specialist. The principal may appoint additional personnel who are not school in the investigation. The investigation shall be completed as soon as possible, but not later than 10 school days from the date of the written report of the incident of harassment, intimidation, or bullying, or from the date of the written notification from the chief school administrator to the principal to initiate an investigation. In the event that there is information relative to the investigation that is anticipated but not yet received by the end of the 10-day period, the school anti-bullying specialist may amend the original report of the results of the investigation to reflect the information. The results of the investigation shall be reported to the chief school administrator within 2 school days of the completion of the investigation and in accordance with the law and board policy. The chief school administrator may initiate intervention services, establish training programs to reduce harassment, intimidation, or bullying, and enhance school climate, impose discipline, order counseling as a result of the findings of the investigation, or take or recommend other appropriate action, including seeking further information. The results of each investigation shall be reported to the Board of Education no later than the date of the next board meeting following the completion of the investigation and include any services provided, training established, discipline imposed, or other action taken or recommended by the chief school administrator. The chief school administrator or his or her designee shall ensure that parents or guardians of the students who are the parties to the investigation in accordance with the federal and state law and regulations shall receive information about the investigation. This information shall be provided in writing within 5 school days after the results of the investigation are reported to the board, and they include the nature of the investigation, whether the district found or discipline is imposed or services provided to an incident of harassment, intimidation, or bullying. Investigations of complaints concerning adult conduct shall not be investigated by a member of the same bargaining unit as is the subject of the investigation.
That was that.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, and then,
Yeah.
yeah, then we amended the dates, and that's all there.
Yeah. So, do we have the motion for approval?
No, that's the resolution.
Oh, it's in the resolution.
Yep.
Okay. All right, so when we get to the resolution part, I guess if anyone has any questions, feel free to ask at that time, right? Okay. All right. And then your turn.
Great. So we're going to review the resolutions we have for tonight. There's 7 of them. We've got the budget summary, which are the bills that we have paid since August 28th. We've got the approval of the updated policy as mandated by the DOE. We've got one extracurricular appointment, and that is the appointment of a new social studies chairperson, which we'll get to when we get to the resolution. We've got personnel appointment for soccer referees. We've got the acknowledgement that you received the HIB report that Christina had prepared and sent out the other day, or actually shared with me, and I sent it out, but you guys all got it. And then we've got we've got one acceptance of a resignation for our social worker, and then we actually have a acceptance of retirement for one of our teachers.
Regarding the resolutions. Any,
Just with the HIB one, real quick, could you explain what is the investigation process? Like if you decide it's not a HIB, is that, how does that work?
Typically, we get a verbal report, and then that's got to be given like the day of the incident, whether it comes from a staff member or a student. And then they fill out that form, which we've linked to our website. So the form goes to Sonia, and then she'll review it. And then on the bottom, it says, does she make the decision that it goes to be investigated as a HIB, or it doesn't? It's investigated as just a disciplinary matter. If she says it's investigated as a HIB, she passes the form to me, and I start the investigation. If Sonia says it's not a HIB, she passes it to Ralph, and Ralph has to agree with that. And if he doesn't agree that it's not, as it should be, double negative, then he would pass it back to Sonia and say, no, it's got to be investigated as a HIB. So both of them have to approve it not being investigated. Pretty much either one of them says, no, it has to, then it comes to me to investigate. And then we start with a statement from the alleged victim, the alleged aggressor, and any witnesses. Kind of go through all that process. Sonia and I typically do them together. Try to weed out, what action of everybody's stories, and then make a determination based upon the information that we have. And does it qualify as a HIB under the law, or is it considered conflict?
Or is it considered discipline?
Discipline. So to be qualified as a HIB, and I think something that's confusing for the students is it only has to happen one time to be considered a bullying incident. Most of the kids think like, oh, I only said one mean thing one time, and some people feel like it has to happen a lot, and it doesn't, like one time, and that's it. But there has to be something of what we call a distinguishing characteristic that individual was targeted. So it's just like friends.
So that's what that's what I was thinking, like what distinguishes it from being
Right, I mean,
suggested discipline.
Yeah, so like race, religion, ethnicity, nationality, sexual orientation. That's not like a full encompassing list, but if there's a specific reason that child was targeted, then that's called a distinguishing characteristic. I mean, it could be the fact that, I wear glasses and you don't, and I make fun of you because you have glasses. That falls under the category of a disability. So that can be considered it too. And there has to be like an aggressor and a victim. So if it's like two friends just bantering back and forth and they're saying inappropriate things, they'll be disciplined for that, but it's not necessarily a hit. Yeah.
So we're gonna have, like this year, we always have every year assemblies and information for our students, but we are gonna have a parent assembly. Last year we did Mallory's Army. This year we're probably, the Teaneck Police Department kind of wants to get, help out. So I believe they're gonna be presenting not only for our students, but our families as well. So we're looking into that for the first week of October.
That answers your question.
Yes.
Anything else on resolutions?
any other public comment regarding resolution or board comment? Okay. Any other public comment general?
So since Ms. Potowski left, who's the new ELA chair?
Oh, so I think we did that.
We appointed,
at the last board meeting. We appointed Juliana Terminario.
Okay.
She actually wanted to send an introduction to the board, but we said we're going to have the curriculum committee now that we have the curriculum committee put together. She's already been working, talking with our staff, getting assessments together, helped with training, helped with the resources, all of the ELA materials that we received this year. So she's already moving. So so far everything's been going great. So she's looking forward to our first curriculum meeting actually.
And she'll be presenting at our next board meeting. So
Any other questions? Everybody's good? Okay. Ready?
Yep.
Okay. Resolution 2309-01 budget summary. Be it resolved that the budget summary for August 28th, 2023 to September 11th, 2023, total amount of $248,615.86 be approved. Moved by McGilchrist moves. Second. Any questions or comments from the board? Bahari?
Yes.
Carter?
Sorry.
It's hard to do the minutes in it, right?
What am I?
this
Yes.
This is the board, okay.
Wait, do I have to write down every-
I'll pass, you could have these.
Okay.
Also, let me just circle Laurel, but she's not here really quick. Okay. Lazoo,
Yes.
McGilchrist,
Yes.
Mitchell,
Yes.
Vallejo Justy,
Yes.
Hadnot, yes, resolution carries. Resolution 2309-02, updated policy. Be it resolved that the TCCS Board of Trustees approve the following updated policy, 5131.1, harassment, intimidation, and bullying. Moved by
Carter.
Carter moves, second. Hadnot seconds. Any questions or comments from the board? Seeing none. Bahari?
Yes.
Carter?
Yes.
Lazoo? Sorry, I'm jumping all over. McGilchrist?
Yes.
Mitchell?
Yes.
Vallejo Justy?
Yes.
Hadnot, yes. Resolution carries. Resolution 2309-0. Be it resolved that the Board of Trustees approve the following extracurricular appointment for the 2023-2024 school year. Angela Mendoza, sorry, Rose, Social Studies Chairperson at $3,000. Moved by Lazoo moves, second. Mitchell seconds. Any questions or comments from the board?
I'll just a little follow up here on this appointment. So she's a new teacher to the school, but she's not a new for a while, and she's held similar roles in other charter schools, actually, as a teacher leader and whatnot. So she had expressed interest in the social studies chair position, and we think it'll be a good fit.
Any other questions or comments from the board?
So is it like you volunteer or like to be on the chairperson, kind of how it works?
No, it's actually, well, it's a stipend in the contract. So it's posted like any other extracurricular position. And if we have multiple candidates, we would look at seniority, we would look at experience. If it came down to, two very similar candidates, we would even interview and things like that. But in this case, she's the only one who's interested in doing it right now.
This is gonna sound like a silly one. Why is it called extracurricular?
Because it's outside of their regular job. It's on the extracurricular list of the contract.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's outside of their classroom duties. I
Okay,
should
got
say.
it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions or comments from the board? Bahari?
Yes.
Carter?
Yes.
Lazoo?
Yes.
McGilchrist?
Yes.
Mitchell?
Yes.
Vallejo Justy?
Yes.
Hadnot, yes. Resolution carries. Resolution 2309-04, personnel appointments for soccer referees. Be it resolved that the TCCS board approve the following appointments for the 2023 soccer season. Assigner, is that how you say that? Assigner. Okay, Ken Hoffman, $60. Referees, $67 per game. Amit Bajar, Barry Doon, Tony Espiritu, Ken Hoffman, and Craig McKim. Moved by
McGilchrist.
McGilchrist moves, Vallejo Justy seconds. Any questions or comments from the board? Bahari?
Yes.
Carter?
Yes.
Lazoo?
Yes.
McGilchrist?
Yes.
Mitchell?
No.
Vallejo Justy?
Yes.
Hadnot, yes. Resolution carries. Resolution 2309-05, HIB Report Acknowledgement. Be it resolved that the Board of Trustees acknowledges receipt of 2 reports from TCCS HIB Specialist Christina Anders on September 11,
That's
20.
It's actually a typo.
It's one, right?
report.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I did a lot of copying and pasting this time around. I apologize.
Moved by
Carter.
Carter, moves. Second.
Leslie?
Lazu, seconds. Any questions or comments from the board? Bahari,
Yes.
Carter,
Yes.
Lazu,
Yes.
McGilchrist,
Yes.
Mitchell,
Yes.
Vallejo Justy,
Yes.
had not, yes, resolution carries. Resolution 2309-06, acceptance of resignation for the social worker. Be it resolved that the board accept the resignation of social worker Deirdre Mastandria.
Yep.
I said it right. Effective October 31st, 2023 or sooner at the discretion of the executive director. Moved by McGilchrist, moves. Second. Had not, seconds. Questions or comments from the board? So in her absence, do we, well, I know we have the,
Well, she's still here. She's obligated for 60 days. We are hiring, we are
We're
interviewing. We
Okay.
have the position posted.
7 interviews this week.
Yeah.
So
and we,
there
I'm sorry.
there is interest in the position, which is good.
And we do still have our Care Plus
Care
provider
Plus.
who is here with us too, to provide additional support.
Okay, great. Any other questions or comments from the board?
It's full time.
It's currently full-time, and looking at our needs and the fact that we do have Care Plus here 3 days a week and we have expanded the behaviorist to full-time, we are looking to possibly put it back at part-time.
So, yeah, we're going to see how the interviews
Fill
go.
that spot.
We'll see.
Any other questions or comments from the board?
I would recommend keeping it full-time so you could secure a position.
Anybody else? Okay. Bahari,
Yes.
Carter,
Yes.
Lazu,
Yes.
McGilchrist,
Yes.
Mitchell.
Yeah.
Vallejo Justy,
Yes.
had not, yes, resolution carries.
Maybe it should be posted.
I had 7 interviews and we've had about 15 applications with part-time. And in talking to most of the people, they actually are interested in part-time, but if it came down to like the perfect candidate and that was a deal breaker, then it's obviously a conversation that we would have. So we'll see how the week goes and go from
Good luck. Ready for the next one?
Included.
Yes, I got it. Thank you. Be it resolved that, I'm sorry, Resolution 2309-07, acceptance of retirement for teacher. Be it resolved that the board accept the retirement of teacher Renee Criange effective December 31st, 2023. Moved by McGilchrist, moves. Second. Bahari, seconds. So before we proceed, I just wanted to read this letter because Renee Criange is in the thread of the charter school. And being that she's dedicated so much time and effort and really built the foundation of charter, I thought it was important to read her resignation letter. I'm going to try to leave out some of the personal stuff so that, you know, she has some confidentiality. She wrote, "Dear Board of Trustees members, it's been more than 25 years since the idea for an alternative elementary school in Teaneck was a mere daydream held by several Teaneck mothers. As one of those mothers, I am proud of what we dreamed into existence and what we helped to build. This summer, but after 25 years of various roles at TCCS, founder, parent, TCSEO president, wife of TCCS board president, and the last 17 as a teacher, it's time for me to say goodbye. I am hereby retiring effective December 31st, 2023. I am leaving TCCS with many great members, administrators, and family members who helped me learn and grow as a person and a teacher. They have never failed to remind me of the greatness of diversity and inclusion and the sustainability of our school's mission as a provider of hands-on, developmentally appropriate, constructivist education. When children are allowed to make meaning, they become lifelong learners. I came to teaching at the age of 47 after a successful career in higher education, public relations, publications, and media relations. It happened when a wonderful teacher friend dragged me to a workshop given by another wonderful teacher. That workshop changed my life. I decided then to help children experience the extraordinary power of words in their lives. I leave TCCS still believing that writing is a fundamental component to a child's successful development and evolving sense of self. From the beginning, I wanted to impart a love of writing and reading and an appreciation of the art of storytelling. Most of all, I wanted each and every student to fall in love with an author and with the power of their own words written on a blank page. I only hope that in some small way, I was able to convey that passion to as many students as possible. Teaching has been the most meaningful work of my life, and I will miss it as well as the school and its people more than you will ever know. With appreciation and gratitude, Renee Criange. So, Ms. Criange, we wish you the best, and we thank you for all your hard work. You're getting some applause here, if you can hear us. So thank you. Any other comments or questions from the board?
I mean, I just want to also, echo your sentiments. Obviously, I've worked with Renee for a long time, for I guess about 20 years now. She was actually one of the parents of one of my students, and initially her first experience teaching the school was actually as a volunteer in my classroom. So there's a long history there, and it's been a really wonderful time having her here for all this time. But we certainly wish her the best, and this is not in any sort of bad terms or anything. She does have valid reasons for needing to leave in the middle of the school year. Otherwise, she really would wait till the end of the year. But we wish her well, and we wish her and her family well, and we will miss her.
Yeah. I'm sure she'll come back and visit. Hopefully. Okay. Any other questions or comments?
I will also point out too, while it's effective December 31st, we've posted the position. In all actuality, her time with us will probably end at the end of October, early November, based on days and whatnot. So we are looking to fill that role and acclimate somebody sooner rather than later. So that's another position that's posted.
Right now, is she in 8th grade?
Yeah,
Because the only question I would have just for the 8th grade parents is, I know because my son, when he went, she was like exceptional at helping them prepare for the test that we all talk about, right? And that was like her strong suit. That's how like half of it got. So I guess my only concern would be who's going to support that. Is there somebody that can like move up, because that's going to be critical for them, and she's very good at that.
No, yeah, we take everything into consideration. But yeah, we'll fill the role the best that we possibly can.
Hopefully she can help transition maybe the
Yeah,
new
of course.
person.
Yeah,
Definitely.
that's fine.
Thank you for that, Mr. Harry. Anybody else? No? Okay. Mr. Harry,
Yes.
Carter,
Yes.
Lazoo,
Yeah.
McGilchrist,
Yes.
Mitchell, Maleo Justin,
Yes.
Hadnot, yes. Resolution carries. And
That's
this meeting is being adjourned at 7:51 p.m.
Yeah.